Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a review and demo on a couple of new Milani products that just came out. I love Milani as a brand. I feel like they've just been coming out with some really amazing products, and every time they come with something new, I just like gravitate towards it. I'm just like, I want to try it, and normally I really end up liking the product. So a couple of the products that I picked up, the first one that caught my eye was their new eyeshadow palette. It was the Bold Obsessions palette. And I picked up this one. They also have one that's an all matte palette, but I picked up the Bold Obsessions and then they announced that they released the all matte palette. So I was like, you know what, let me see how the Bold Obsessions goes first, and then from there I'll see if I need the all matte palette. The other product I picked up is a concealer quad. They had two different concealer quads. This is the color correcting one, so it has the different colors that you'll see on here. And then I also picked up they have their new translucent powders. They have this one which I picked up, which is light medium, and I think they have two other shades, probably like medium dark and deep, something like that. And then the other product, I did not order it online, but this is one of their other new releases that I picked up in stores, and this is their Amore Shine Lip Gloss. So this one I already seen at Walgreens. I want to say the concealer and the powder I've seen pop up online at Ulta, but I haven't seen the eyeshadow palette pop up other than the Milani website. So if you guys want to know a little bit more about what I think about these products, especially if they're just online, if you're waiting for the release in store, or if you're someone who wants to get it online like me because you can't wait because you're patient but you want a little bit of feedback, just keep on watching. So let's first talk about the product that I needed to get, which was their eyeshadow palette, the Bold Obsessions eyeshadow palette. Those colors are definitely like really great everyday colors. You can really do an all-day look. You can smoke it up, and I specifically wanted to get it because originally Milani came out with these little eyeshadow palettes, and I just broke mine right now. Oops. But they came up with these, which I really love. I'll link down below the review and demo that I did with this palette, but I love these. And if anything, I just wish, like, can I get more colors? These range for $10, and if anything, I think they're great. It's, you know, easy, compact. You can travel with it in your makeup bag, and for $10 for really great, this is one of like the really great quality eyeshadow palettes from the drugstore where like I like every color. And so now Milani came out with the Bold Obsessions for $20. I know a lot of people might be like, oh my god, $20, but the thing is, there's a lot of $20 eyeshadow palettes at the drugstore, even $16 eyeshadow palettes at the drugstore that are not that great. I've reviewed them. I think, you know, I just haven't been a big fan. There have been some others that are maybe like $15, $16. Like say the L'Oreal, the La Palettes. I did the 1 and the 2, which I think are good palettes, a good starter palettes. And then there's the Milani one. Now I'll say right off the bat, I'll swatch the colors for you here so you guys can see them. But initially when swatching the colors just with my fingers, I'll admit I was not impressed. I was just kind of like a little disappointed. I was like, oh no, what is this gonna look like? Just because they don't, you know, nowadays with eyeshadow palettes, you want to feel buttery, smooth, and soft, and, you know, all those amazing things. And these, some of them, you know, especially like the mattes, they don't ultimately feel buttery smooth when swatched, but when applying them on the eyes, they blend out really easily, and they are pigmented. So I was like, you know what, I'm glad I didn't do like an initial judgment. Well, I did do an initial judgment, but I'm glad I still went ahead and played with them on my eyes because the pigmentation and the quality of them were still really, really good. I feel like they have a mix. So this palette has a mix of mattes, shimmers, and then I want to say this is maybe like this red one. It's not a total matte. It feels kind of like almost like a satin, maybe like a matte satin, but you have a mix here to work with, which is nice when you get some transition shades, and then you get some other like really nice lid shimmer shades, which I'll admit, like especially this like gold shimmer shade, like wow, that like just comes off really nice. This other coppery one, these are like one swipe. The shimmers definitely swipe really, really nicely. The mattes, you're just kind of like, oh, they seem a little dry, but the pigmentation of them is pretty nice. Like the brown, the dark deep, it's pigmented, so you know it's not gonna rub off when applying it. This is the eye look that I filmed today using this palette, and I'll actually upload like a more in-depth tutorial of this whole look, and I'm using a lot of the Milani products that I'm talking about in this video, and in general some other Milani products that I really love. I feel like for me, the more that I use this palette, the more that I like it. The only thing that I would kind of say, which is an issue, but at the same time I feel like it's kind of smart of Milani, is I wish there was more like mid-tone transition shades. So there's like maybe this shade I can kind of pull off as like an overall kind of like big fluffy brush transition. Then I can kind of go into this in the crease, but then I kind of want another little mid-tone transition shade that I kind of use, maybe warmish orange, you know, so I kind of substituted the red here, but I was like, I need something in between, which is why I'm just kind of like, I feel like something's missing. But Milani came out with a whole nother all matte eyeshadow palette that has some of those colors that I wish that I had. So I was like, you got me, you got me. So now I need that other palette. I mean, I have some other colors in my collection, but I think it's just really great to kind of have like these really good drugstore palette brands to kind of play with. And I know, I feel like just the fact that I do like this, I definitely want to go ahead and purchase that all matte palette just to have on its own. I think on its own as an all matte palette, I think the colors work really well, but to combine with this eyeshadow palette, I think would be also really great. You can still create those really great eyeshadow looks, you know. I'm not gonna say it's a really good one, but I like the way that this came out. But you can really get, you know, a lot of different looks with this palette still. You can do a nice little like everyday quick, and you can smoke it out. I could have smoked it out even more. Let me know if you guys want to see more looks using this palette today. I wasn't trying to do anything crazy more than anything. I was just kind of trying to, you know, show you the quality of the colors, which I think the more that I use it, I think it's really great. I think for me, if I had to rate this palette, I would probably give it maybe like a 9 out of 10. I love the fact that they have a huge mirror. I love that it's really sleek, it's compact, it does look really nice. And I love that maybe they didn't put the names right here in front, but they didn't give me a little plastic cover, which I'm gonna lose or it's gonna get annoying in the way, but you can see the colors at least named back here. And the reason why I would give it a 9 out of 10 is because I feel like I wish I had some more transition like shades, mid-tone shades to work with. But the fact that they have that other all matte shade, I was like, alright, fine. I see what you were doing. So if you guys have been eyeing this palette, I would definitely say pick it up. Either get it online on Milani's website like I did, which is also, I think if you guys follow Trend Mood, she's like pretty good about like updating on the newest products. She has a 15% off code, which I heard about after the fact. I made my purchase and she's like, hey, I have 15% off in Milani. I'm like, great. So maybe I'll use it for the all matte palette, maybe some other products they'll just randomly pop up with. So the next product that I picked up, this is her Conceal and Perfect, their little correcting little quad. And this is the one with all the different correcting colors. They also have one with like kind of skin tone colors you can kind of mix and match for your own shade, whether it's a, you kind of want to spot treat around the face, make it a little bit darker, you know, mix to make it a little bit lighter, which I was kind of like, oh, I wish I would have gotten that too. But I really wanted to get this one specifically for this orange conceal color. I love corrector concealers for underneath the eyes because I do have dark circles, so I'm always trying to find something that I really like. And I feel like for me, whenever I use correcting shades, I either use the orange or the green. I feel like maybe I could have used the yellow just to kind of brighten a little bit, and then depending on my dark circles, if they're a little bit lighter, I might have gone in with the like kind of pinkish salmon peach color, or if I want, I feel like I can even kind of mix these two together. But I feel like the orange, which is what I used today, I think that covers up my dark circles pretty well. Depending how dark your dark circles are, how light they are, you can use one or the other or custom mix to get your own color. But given that this is a thicker, creamier formula, I think if just kind of like rubbing your hand in, like it already, like it just warms it up. You don't have to work too hard. It's not drying. It's already pretty smooth, so just a touch of your hand I think is the best thing whenever you're using like these thicker formulas. And applying it under my eye with my finger, just let it melt in. And honestly, I was surprised how much it didn't crease under my eye. And the concealer that I actually use, especially when I use a thicker formula like this, I try to go in with something a little bit lighter. So something that I think complements, you know, this corrector is actually the Milani concealer, which I did a review and demo on when it came out. I want to say, was it the beginning of last year or the year before? I'm not sure. But I really like this for a nice lightweight concealer, something quick on the go. But this is especially great when you're going to use a thicker formula under the eyes, because you don't want to go in with a thick corrector and then a thick concealer, because then you're just going to get a lot of creasing, especially if you have fine lines and you easily crease under the eyes like me. So these two together I think were really, really great. They didn't crease, and I feel like it corrected really well. So I feel like maybe if you have use for at least 2 of these colors, I think you'll like this. But if maybe you're not a corrector type of girl, you just want to spot conceal, I would say maybe go for the other little quad with like more of the skin tone colors. Once again, this is for $14, so I feel like unless, you know, you really are someone who likes to, or needs to rather, you know, correct certain areas of the face with like these type of colors, whether it's, you know, a brightening, or for the green, I went in to conceal any redness. I don't have too much from like outbreaks. Pimples, might you say. I feel like nowadays I get more texture than like redness from acne or anything, which is pretty nice, but every once in a while you gotta conceal a little bit. If you're someone who has, you know, a need for this, then I would say definitely pick it up. The next product that I picked up was their Make It Last Loose Setting Powder, and I picked up mine in the shade 01 Light to Medium. Then they also have another one, Medium to Deep, a Banana shade, and a Radiant shade. So I picked up this one, which I think works well for my skin tone. I wouldn't recommend using this to set under the eyes, which is what I did when I first used it, only because I feel like it has the tiniest little reflex. So I feel like for under the eyes I want something all completely matte. So I would not, I mean, it didn't look like over, you know, dramatized or anything, but those tiny little reflex, don't want that from the eyes. I do, however, like it for all around the face. You can't notice those little reflex even when I kind of like, I was trying to check with my mirror. I was like, can you, like, you really have to look really closely, which shows you how closely I was looking. But for around the face, I really like it for my dry skin. It says it's supposed to absorb oil and mattify, but I feel like for me, whenever there's those type of like loose powders, I feel like you can really tell on my skin that it's just absorbing too much oils. Like I have little oils that, you know, it's like absorbing all the oils that I have. But maybe it's a combination of the foundation that I'm using, which I love, which is also the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1. If you have not bought this yet, you are, it's snoozing. But this is just a really great, like a healthy, luminous glow. And that's something I want to maintain. So I feel like with this powder, I love the fact that it's really, really lightweight. It doesn't overly absorb my oils. It just gives me a nice kind of like matte, like a satin finish. So therefore, if you're oily, I don't know how well it's going to absorb your oils, because the fact that it's not making me look super dry might not do what you're looking for. Who knows? But for me, I really like it. If you want a really nice light setting powder for like dry skin, just to kind of, you know, go over, so when you go with the rest of your powders like contour and blush and highlight, they go on smoothly, then definitely I would say pick this up. This is $11, and for me, I've always like wanted to have like a nice loose setting powder, and this is definitely one I would recommend for dry skin. Oily skin, I'm not sure how well it's going to keep your oils at bay. But if you're oily and you want to try it out, definitely I would say wait to pick it up in store so you can get that receipt. And in case it doesn't work, you can return it. So I feel like normal to dry, definitely go ahead and check this out. Oily, let me know if you end up picking it up and if it does what you want it to do. The last product that I picked up, this I actually picked up in stores and Walgreens. I've seen them in several Walgreens, is their Amore Shine Liquid Lip Color. And I think I picked up the lightest shade in the shade Delight. They have a bunch of different lip gloss shades. So this is a lip gloss, it's not a liquid lipstick, it's glossy. So if you're kind of want to switch over from the liquid lipsticks and you want to go back to a gloss, I don't know, people are predicting gloss is back, but it is nice to switch it up, I'm not gonna lie. I love the Milani liquid, the matte liquid lipsticks, but it's nice to switch it up a little bit. And honestly, this one I have been loving. I tried it, I want to say I tried it on its own, because a bunch of the different colors, I feel like the colors are so pigmented so that you can use it on its own, so it'll have like its own color as a gloss. So if you're someone who kind of likes those formulas of gloss where they're pigmented gloss, you have those options. But I feel like this one, since it's like the lighter one and it kind of has like maybe like those, not metallic, but it has like that nice little shimmer. On its own, I wasn't a fan of it, but over like different lipsticks, maybe to lighten them up a little bit or just to kind of like manipulate the color and give it that little shine, I love it. The combo that I'm wearing today is actually a Milani combo. I was like, why not? And I've actually been loving this. So I picked up their lip liner, their Spice lip liner, which I think I raved about it in my last favorites video. I've already gone through this bad boy. This is my go-to liner. I love how creamy it is. And then I topped it off with the Matte Innocence lipstick. It's a really nice light lipstick, but on top of the lip liner, it kind of just lightens that all together. And then I went ahead and added the gloss on top just to kind of give it like that really nice effect. You can do just these two. You can just do these two if you want to just do the gloss alone, but I have really been liking this gloss. I feel like I've been using it in a lot of my videos. It's just been a great everyday color, and I've just been liking using gloss. So I'll definitely want to pick up some of their other more pigmented colors that you can just kind of wear alone, just add the gloss and go. I will say, in case you guys are curious, I will say that the formula isn't too sticky, whereas like your lips like press together when you press them. So it's a really nice, comfortable gloss. Forgot to mention, but in case you're wondering, very comfortable. I hope you guys enjoyed the review and demo of some of those new Milani products that came out. They came out with a couple more, but I was like, alright, can't get them all. Let's try a couple and then maybe we'll wait till they come out in store. But I'm already fiending for the other all matte palette. If you guys have been eyeing any of these colors, or if you will be picking any of them up, hopefully this review and demo was helpful. Let me know down below in the comments. Like this video and make sure to subscribe so you can keep up with some more drugstore reviews. Also in the description box I have some more reviews and demos of some new products that came out from the drugstore. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.